one of the things that I spend a lot of time talking about when I go on these, things to talk about my books is that, when you meet a person, when two people meet, whoever they are, no matter what they are, the first thing they start doing is telling their stories. You tell your story to that person, and then that person tells you their story. You start thinking about like, who do we know, and all those kind of things together. And when you think about the stories that that I'm telling in Strange Fruit and Tales of the Talented 10th, it's like, I'm trying to do that for the entire community of people of color. I'm trying to tell those stories. I think that, for the last, 300 years of media representation, the media has, in a way, acted like the parent to society, right? Like when you teach a kid an apple, you show them an apple, you say, here's an apple, and then eventually they see a picture of that apple and they say, there's an apple, right? And what the media has done for people of color and disaffected people, LGBTQ, women, any people of color is just saying, here's what a black man's supposed to look like. Right, the media said this, like dangerous, predator, lazy, whatever. Like all those things can't be true, but I digress. Here's what this guy is. And so when people see that person, they immediately see not the actual image. This is the thing that, Ralph Ellison was talking about in the beginning of The Visible Man when he says, you can't see me. Like that's what you can't see. You can't see me because you are looking at something completely different. So by telling the stories of people like Bass Reeves and people like Major Taylor, or like the Buffalo Soldier cyclist that I'm going to be talking about in Strange Fruit Volume 2, I'm telling these stories and showing people that that's not true. What you're thinking about is not true. I'm sure John has run into, I'm sure anybody has, if you live in the South and you go to a college and, I went to a predominantly white college, nobody's ever, like, they don't know anybody black. The only thing they know is what they see on television. So people have this preconceived notion about who you are. And so, like, if I can tell the story of Bessie Stringfield, like this 5'2" black woman who in the 30s and 40s rode a motorcycle all over the country, like that completely breaks the stereotype of what you think women are supposed to be, especially women in the South, especially black women in the South. She was not like, she was not matronly. She was not a mother. She was not out chasing men. She was like, you know what? I'm going to get on this bike and I'm going to go do my thing. And that's what she did, right? And so by telling these stories and telling the stories that I tell, I am sharing the stories of the black community, because I believe that if we share our stories, then that's how we build empathy. And when we empathize with each other, that's when we build our humanity. And I think that's what we're losing over the course of the last couple of years, is that we're losing our humanity. And by sharing those stories, that's when we bring that back.